In this video, I'm going to introduce you to the Liquify workspace, which is one of the funnest things to do in Photoshop. The workspace has a lot of features and functionality in it. We are not going to cover it all. We're just going to take a look at a couple of tools and a couple of techniques. If you want to learn all about the Liquify workspace, Google Liquify workspace or Liquify in Photoshop, and you're going to get a lot of videos that are going to go through all of the details of the properties and the functions of that workspace. Here you see an image that we're going to do a little bit of editing in. We're going to make her nose a little bit smaller. We're going to make her eyes a little bit bigger. We're going to make her chin come forward a little bit, sort of plastic surgery. We're going to do this in the Liquify workspace. So to get there, we go to the filter menu. We choose Liquify. It opens up the Liquify workspace where you see on the left tools and on the right you see a bunch of options. There is this option called Face Aware Liquify that if you turn that down, you'll see it has sections for eyes, nose, mouth, where you can use sliders to make some adjustments. I'll let you play with that. It works okay on a profile view. It works a little bit better on a straightforward view of a face. Allows you to make eyes bigger, allows you to make mouths smaller and bigger and things like that. Here in this example, in this video, we're going to use the brush tool to do that. That's the one right over here. I shouldn't say the brush tool. I should say the forward warp tool. It works like a brush. As you can see, it's round, and if I use the bracket key, it's smaller and larger, but it doesn't give you any softness or hardness. What this forward warping tool allows you to do is click and drag and push pixels around. For an example, I'm going to zoom in and then pan over, and we're going to take a look at her nose here. And I've got my brush size about that size that you see here, which is about the right size to accomplish what I want to accomplish, which is to click and drag and bring that nose in a little bit. Notice that I didn't overdo it. I'm going to undo and just show you I can really do weird stuff, right? And we're actually going to do that next. But here I want to make minor changes. So I drug that in a little bit. I'll dial down the size because I want it just to affect this area right here. And maybe I'll just bring that nose part down a little bit. Maybe bring this part up a little bit. See how that's working? I'll zoom out and you can see now her nose takes on quite a different shape just with those minor edits. If I want to move the chin out, let's say, I'm going to get a bigger brush, even maybe bigger than that, and lift up, click, and move the chin down and out a little bit. And maybe even bigger over here, that's a little bit too big, and move that down a little bit and back a little bit. So there you go, I'm messing with her chin a little bit. This is how the forward warp tool works. You have a couple of other tools here that are kind of fun to work with. There's the pucker tool and the bloat tool. If I want her eyes to be a little bit bigger, I can grab that bloat tool. And I'm going to make my brush, I'm going to zoom in too so you can see better, about like that for the eyes, and I'm just clicking down and up really short. If I hold it too long, if I click and hold the mouse too long, it's just going to make this thing bigger and bigger. But you'll watch and see I made that just slightly bigger. I just clicked it a couple of times. I'm going to undo one time, that's a little bit too big. There you go. And maybe I want to do something the same with the lips. Okay, so I just click it a little bit. There you go. The lips are bigger. And maybe I want to make the ear a little bit smaller, so I grab the pucker tool. It does the opposite of what the bloat tool does. I just click and it makes it a little bit smaller. And there you go, I've done some plastic surgery. Before I even close this out, there is a preview button down here at the bottom, and you can see the changes you made by clicking it on and off. That's where she started. That's the edits I made. Again, that's where she started. That's the edits I made. I hit OK, and it makes those edits. And by the way, when it finishes doing that, I want you to notice that it is destructive. So if you ever wanted to go back, you couldn't. One of the ways that I do that when I have to use some sort of destructive technique is I duplicate the layer. I turn off the eyeball of the old layer just to keep it in my file in case I ever need to go back to it. All right, so that's that. Now let's have a little bit of fun with it. I'm going to want you to turn both of these images in. Liquify me. I want you to sort of do some plastic surgery on this image. And then here we have J-Lo. And I want you to make a very funny J-Lo. So let's go into the Liquify workspace. And by the way, when I go back to filter, you'll notice that Liquify is sitting there right up top. That is showing me what I last did. That's not the Liquify workspace. If I click on that, it's going to apply the last thing I did to a previous image, which was Liquify. It's going to do what I did to the previous image. Go ahead and try it. If I do that, it goes, and it does this weird thing. I want to go to the Liquify workspace. That's with the ... So there we go. I'm on the Liquify workspace, and using those same tools that I had you use before, I can grab the forward warp tool and maybe click and drag her ears out. And I'll drag the other side. And maybe I will grab the pucker and I'll make her nose really small. And I'll grab the bloat and I'll make her lips really big. And the forward warp tool again. And I'll make it really big and drag it down. Maybe drag this stuff out here. Get the bloat tool and make her eyes really big. Let me get in the middle of it. There we go. And there we go. I've made some sort of freaky looking J-Lo. All right, so you're going to turn this in. You don't have to do what I did. You can do whatever you want. Just use the Liquify workspace to create some sort of freaking looking person and turn that in for credit according to the assignment.